Dark clouds are gathering over Westminster once again. A political storm that cuts across party lines, fueled by one simple question: should our leaders be forced to reveal how much tax they actually pay? Over 95% of you still aren't subscribed. Subscribing is free and helps us keep creating even better content. Hit that subscribe button now and be part of our community. According to a brand new YouGov poll of nearly 5,000 people, a staggering 8 in 10 Britons believe senior politicians should be compelled to publish their annual tax payments. Only 8% disagree. And this demand for transparency comes at a time when trust in politics feels dangerously thin. The debate was reignited last week when Angela Rayner, the now former Deputy Prime Minister and Housing Minister, resigned after failing to pay £40,000 in stamp duty. Her departure has set the tone for a wider conversation about honesty, integrity, and accountability at the highest levels of government. But it doesn't stop there. Nigel Farage, the Reform UK leader, has been dodging questions over his own tax affairs, questions tied to his partner's Clacton property, his private company assets, and even his GB News earnings. When pressed by The Independent, Farage insisted he publishes all of his monthly earnings and company figures, and claimed there was no need to disclose how much tax he actually pays. Yet, when asked directly about reports that he's using a private company structure to reduce tax on his presenter salary, he stayed silent. That silence was met with fury. Zack Polanski, co-leader of the Green Party, has gone so far as to call for Farage's resignation. Trust in politics is at an all-time low. And when millionaires like Nigel Farage are exposed as having played the tax system to pay less, it is understandable why cynicism sets in. You can't call yourself a patriot and then dodge paying your fair share of tax. The survey's findings cut across the political spectrum. From Conservatives to Labour, from North to South, from working class to middle class, Britons overwhelmingly want transparency. Older voters lead the charge. 84% of those aged over 64 say politicians should reveal their tax returns. Among the youngest, support is slightly softer but still strong, with 69% of 18 to 24-year-olds backing the move. But the debate doesn't end with the poll. Campaign groups are clashing over what transparency really means. Diya Chakravarti, former political director of the low-tax campaign group Taxpayers Alliance, has warned against mandatory disclosure. It is highly unlikely that the publication of their tax returns would do anything to expose wrongdoing. It would only satisfy curiosity. Our energy would be far better spent pressurizing politicians to simplify the ridiculously complex tax code. It's this opacity that undermines trust, not the lack of published returns. On the other side, Tax Justice UK has fired back. Faria Mohuddin, their Deputy Director of External Affairs, insists this isn't about curiosity, it's about fairness. Revelations about MPs' tax affairs highlight how dysfunctional our tax system is. People paying their fair share and still struggling will rightly be outraged by seeing MPs appear to dodge tax. To rebuild trust, we need to shut down loopholes and tax breaks that allow the super-wealthy and powerful to pay less. As a step in the right direction, MPs should be transparent about the taxes they pay. So here we are, one scandal, one resignation, and one national debate. The question remains, will Britain's politicians bow to public pressure and open up their books, or will this storm of distrust continue to grow darker?